everybody. So I am Jessica Lepin, Photo Art Pavilion, one of the owners, founders, and so on, a fellow art photographer, just like yourself. Today for the J&J Photo Art Marketing Cafe, we have some great topics that we want to share with you. We're going to be repeating some of the top marketing tips and tricks that we've shared along the way. I'm going to have Joanne fill us in on all of that in just a moment. I do want to say during the meeting here, just make sure you stay muted unless you raise your hand and you're able to chat with us. But if you have any questions, definitely add them into the chat feature at the bottom of your Zoom window. Also, we always record our meetings, so this way you can always go back and find that one tip or trick or so on that you wanted to review and really make your own for your art brand. So with that said, definitely go to our YouTube channel for Photo Art Pavilion and subscribe. This way you're always up to date with different videos and little videos that we post and so on. Besides these meetings, we also do other things. So without further ado, we are going to let Joanne Hennig, a fellow founder and art photographer with Photo Art Pavilion, be able to share with you all of the big marketing tips and tricks and so on that we've shared throughout the past months. We are in Q4. This is a big push for art sales for really all types of artists, but specifically us art photographers. So without further ado, Joanne, would you please share the screen?
All right. Hi, everybody. Nice to see all you friendly faces out there. Hello, hello, hello. Really great intro, Jess. Thank you. We are definitely in Q4, and Q4 is typically the place where you put all those efforts that you put in over the past year should start to come to fruition. Some of you are just getting started with us on Photo Art Pavilion, so you might not be completely up to speed, but with your promotional efforts and your marketing efforts. So we want to make sure that we can give you an overview today. In the chat, I put the link to go over to our YouTube channel. So in the YouTube channel, when you get there, just subscribe, and then anytime we post something new there, you'll be able to access it if you happen to not be able to make these meetings or want to review other things that we've done. So let's just get started. So this bonus J&J Cafe meeting, we've been doing these, believe it or not, since December of 2020. And I have to say that I am pretty impressed with the content that we've put forth in the Photo Art Marketing Cafés. We've kind of drilled it down that all of you hate marketing, but love the results. So if you hate marketing and you love the results, we're going to put together a little summary of what we've been discussing and what the photographers have been sort of working on with their Photo Art Pavilion storefront, and even some of the promotion that they're doing on their own. So if you're an artist for life, you're a promoter for life. We've got to swallow that, and we've got to come to terms with that. So anyway, so let's talk about what we discussed in December of 2020, our first J&J Cafe. We talked about marketing with coupons, email, and social media. So the theme of this was to get in the habit of putting coupons in front of your art buyers, running sales that will pique the curiosity of your audience. We also discussed direct email campaigns that are targeted in their approach. So it's also great to take those coupons that we've created and put them into the direct email campaigns. Some of the services that we talked about as email direct marketing services were MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, Constant Contact. If you have another service that you're already using and you're comfortable with it, continue on. I mean, just make sure that you're getting some direct emails out. Again, we talked about way back in December, even if you have 5 people on that email list and you grow it 1 or 2 a month, that's better than 0. So don't diminish what you have there already, and just continue to build on it. I've been building mine. I've got my list up to about 125 now, which is, I should have more, but that's a whole nother story. I'm helping you guys. I got to help myself a little bit too. Social media hashtags are what we consider a search tool or an alert tool on social media. So anytime someone uses a hashtag, if I were to type in hashtag Photo Art Pavilion, anybody that uses hashtag Photo Art Pavilion, I would be able to see all the posts associated with that hashtag. So what we like you guys to do is use those hashtags, so that other people can come into what you're promoting, and then also use those hashtags to be relative to your location of your photo, specifics within the image that you're promoting, emotions, and so forth. There really is no right or wrong with the with utilizing hashtags, but I think that you just have to get comfortable with it. It's one of those things that you have to get comfortable with. So in December 2020, we talked about coupons, we talked about direct email campaigns, we talked about social media and how to, sort of get your feet wet in there. So if you want a more detailed information on that, on those topics, go over to the YouTube channel and look for the December 2020 video that's already there. All right, jumping up into January 2021, we talked about tips with developing your art photography email list. All right, so if you haven't done so by now, get yourself set up with that email provider like I just talked about, MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, Constant Contact, or something else. Schedule and send out personalized bulk emails. With a lot of these services, you can set it and forget it. Like you can create the emails today and have them go out the day, Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving in the United States. You can set emails to go out on a regular basis, and you can also add contacts to your list regularly. So I think the December Marketing Cafe together with the January 21 Marketing Cafe, like those two kind of go hand in hand and really drill down into the email marketing in January. So again, you can find that over on our YouTube channel. All right, February 21, we talked about hashtag hacks plus using Instagram alt tags. So this was a brilliant video that Jessica did in February 2021. She talked about using your cell phone settings, going into your general area of your cell phone settings and your keyboard settings, where you can get to text replacement. And within that area, you can create shortcuts that save you time. In other words, if you have content or hashtags that you use repeatedly over and over again, you can set up keystroke shortcuts through your phone, and then you can copy and paste them right into your Instagram posts. So this February 21 meeting was all about Instagram. It was all about shortcuts using hashtags. Again, if that's something that you're focused on, if you're focused on Instagram, if that's where you're doing the majority of your marketing, then definitely check out the February 21 video for J&J's Cafe. The other part of that video was just talking about, and I had no idea that this even existed, but the alt tags. There's a thing in Instagram for visually impaired users of Instagram. So what you do is you put alt tags behind your images in Instagram, and then the descriptive information is then available to those people that are visually impaired. So just a really cool tool, and just more knowledge for you as an art photographer and your marketing efforts that you're working on. All right, let's jump into April 2021. We talked about the Art Marketing Tower of Power, Photo Art Pavilion's Art Marketing Tower of Power. If you go over to that video, you're going to see basically a pyramid that kind of goes from large on the bottom to thin on the top. What we're looking to do here is kind of put your main attention to the bottom tier, almost like the old school food pyramid, right? Where you had, this is all the stuff you want to eat a lot of, and then all at the top, the stuff you don't want to eat a lot of. Well, same here. Attention on your art is not a scarce resource, so we want to make sure that you're putting your attention where it needs to be. It should be a daily process, because what you seek you must you must attract. So you have to put your attention there. So that tower of power on the bottom tier, going all the way up to the top tier, is going to give you ideas of things that you can do, stuff that you need to do maybe every day, every week, and then the little things that go towards the top that you can, just sort of touch on occasion, like perhaps putting out a coupon for your audience. Maybe that's something you do once a quarter, or twice a year. Really, it's entirely up to you. But you're going to develop your sales channels on a one-on-one. You're going to do some live video art shows. You're going to do a 24/7 online storefront. These are things that are going to help drive your sales, but everything else is going to come from your direct mail, your social media, your art shows, and then mentioning targeted persons in that, using that @ sign. All right. So this is all these little tricks and traits that are inside that tower of power. That was in April of 2021. So again, if you want some more detail on these topics, you can certainly go in and review that video. Okay. May 2021, we talked about, are you finding it hard to find your target market? And this is really a tough task, a tall task, but it really just requires you paying attention to who's engaging with you during your social media posts, during art shows, or anything else that you're doing that relates to your art. Okay, the average art can outsell a seasoned professional with targeted marketing. That was one of the big takeaways from that meeting. So you can outsell some of the big professional artists that are out there, as long as you're staying in the game of targeting your audience and just keeping at it. All right. So don't feel like you cannot be as successful as whoever you have your eyes on. You certainly can. You just need to make sure that you're drilling down into your target market. You've got to be able to find your local audience and give attention to who is engaged with you on social media, who has purchased from you in the past. And you'll start to see over time that there will be a pattern that will develop on who actually repeats into your purchase pool. It may be 55 and older. It may be the young millennials just getting into new apartments. So, kind of try and pay attention to who's making those buys, who's showing up at art shows, who's engaging you in your social media posts. A little research goes a long way. And if you kind of, maybe even if you want, you could start a little spreadsheet and track some of that data for yourself. And having that information might help you target. If you do run some ads on social media, then you know to put your ads exactly behind that target audience. Also, the other thing that was kind of buried in there was, where does your target audience hang out? So once you kind of drill down to who your target audience is, where are they hanging out? Where are the art collectors that you want to reach? Where are they hanging out? Are they hanging out in groups on Facebook under interior design, or are they hanging out in groups like housing for sale? So try to figure out that for yourself. That video is May of 2021 on the YouTube channel. In June, we talked about the 5 steps for developing a solid art marketing strategy. This was interesting because it really can mimic any marketing strategy, whether it's art or cars. But there are certain things that come up in the marketing field that repeat across broad industries. But what we did was we kind of tried to point it towards you, the art marketer. But the thing we talked about was SWOT. Some of you that have been in marketing circles before may recall SWOT: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So those are things you want to try and pay attention to for your marketing strategy. You want to find and stick with that target audience, like we talked about in May. You want to set goals with a specific time frame. So this is something that most people in any marketing framework don't really pay attention to. They don't set the goal with a specific time frame. If you're running a marketing campaign and it's endless and it never stops, 2 things could happen. You can bore your audience. They get bored with seeing the same thing over and over again. And then the other thing is, without having a specified time frame, you're not able to collect the data that you need and see what's working and what's not working. So that's part of the tactics that need to come out of your marketing strategy. And then, of course, with any marketing strategy, you need to budget your money and budget your time. Time is, in my mind, very much equal to money. Your time is valuable, so budget, put that into your budget. I set up a calendar week to week of what I want to do for my marketing, and I go at it and I budget it in a time fashion. Like from 11 o'clock until 12 o'clock, I do this, and I try to stick very closely to that budget, that time budget. Otherwise, I lose my day. It's easy. July 2021. The last one was June. So if you want to see more on that, the 5 steps of developing a solid strategy in marketing your art, that's June of 2021. In July, we talked about the ideas for using Instagram Reels with your art photography. Now, we're all behind a digital DSLR, most of us, and video is somewhat foreign to us, but we all have cell phones, and there are ways to sort of get involved in doing reels. I'm just starting to test this out a little bit on my own. I did a reel, I want to say it was this past week, just goofing around, and I couldn't tell you how many likes I got on the reel. So I would play around with it. I would take reels and make them fun for you. It seems that those are the ones that are most engaged. They're a little bit comical, but a little bit informative at the same time. So you could utilize reels in that fashion. You can also take art off your wall and do a quick reel on showing the art piece in your hand. This is what a typical matted and framed art piece would look like when it arrives at your home. Show them the front, show them that, show people the back, and then send that reel off. Attach some music onto that. Um, use use professional creative tools like a Canva if you need to put your art together in a little bit more of a professional fashion. So if I were you, get out there, play around with reels. You just don't know where your next art buyer is coming from. And if you can engage them in a different way, other than just those straight up Instagram posts, that might be beneficial to you. Reels also appear over Facebook. And I know that a lot of these services now, I even saw an ad for YouTube Shorts. So YouTube is getting in the game as well for video. So test it out, play around with it. Go to the July 2021 meeting that we did. It's on YouTube, and dig in, see if there's something there that might really engage you. All right, the last month we talked about 5 steps to supercharge your referrals. We are very shy when it comes to our art and patting ourselves on the back sometimes, but it's important that you dig into referrals as a core part of your promotional efforts. I know you all appreciate your clients and people that purchase from you, but it's very important that you let them know and that you value them. It's important. So again, if someone's purchases something from you, first thing that I do is I put them into my email list, right? In my email list, if they're there, they make a purchase from me, I can single them out. I can send them a thank you note in 2 seconds. It's really not a difficult thing to do. So that's my valuing my clients and appreciating them and showing them that. I can also create an exceptional experience for those customers every time they deal with me, whether it be through a coupon, whether it be going out of my way to do something personal for them that they may need. Maybe, get them set up with, installation services or something beyond just the art sale. But staying in touch with your art buying pool is important, because at the end of the day, what we want to be able to do is go back to those people and say, can you please refer a friend or family member or somebody that might have the need that you had? So you purchased my art. I think it's great. Thank you so much. Can you refer a friend? Don't be afraid to ask for that. You could give customers that have already done business with you incentives to give you referrals, and just make it easy. And just do it. You know, there's never a right time or a wrong time to ask for a referral. You just really need to just do it. And don't be shy about it, because you deserve it. You deserve to have your art displayed in as many beautiful places as possible, because you all have really great art to show. So the end of the day, with all of these J&J cafes that we've done since December, we've drilled down to this one phrase that kind of sits with me each week uh, as I'm doing my own marketing for myself, or for Photo Art Pavilion in total. But there are no shortcuts in the art business. Everyone has to take the stairs. I just love that quote. I have it hanging on my wall, so it keeps me motivated, and it keeps me from never stopping the creative process that is very, very important. Keeping my art fresh, keeping my connection with my customer base fresh, and just making sure that I have fun along the way. Without putting an element of fun into what you're doing with your promotion. Don't take yourself so seriously. This is art. And you know, you want to be able to reach people, you know, in the heart center. That's really where they're going to make the connection with you. Okay. So my presentation is over at this point, but I want to pass the ball back to Jess, because what Jessica's going to do at this stage of the game is she's going to show you some of the new site updates that we have on both the artist side and also on the buyer's side. So Jess, if you have the ability to share your screen, go for it.
Yes. Thank you, Joanne, so much for recapping 2021 with the marketing so far. It's just unbelievable, all the things that we've been able to provide to all of you artists along the way. So it's really exciting. Without further ado, I will share my screen and show you what we've been working on. So hold on, let me just adjust my little window here. Okay. So this is the new look and feel of photoartpavilion.com. So this is more of the buyer side. So with photoartpavilion.com, the thought is always, how do we appeal to the art buyer, and how do we add the functionality and the services needed for our art photographers and blend the worlds, I should say. So with this, we have created a beautiful hero section on the site. So this is something that will be changed out every so often, keep it fresh for people returning to the site, you know, people who are looking to buy. So this brings them right over to the collections. They're able to jump right in and find the different artwork that they're looking for. From there, you know, we still have the same elements here on the site itself, but they've just been refreshed just a wee bit. In this section here, you know, we have the shop now button right below. So it kind of adds a better flow for the art buyer. They're able to connect with the artist, learn about the title, and then from there be able to go right into the shop now. Our featured artists are still here. And also we have some marketing here for the art buyer. What is your art style? They're able to request a art consult with us. We're able to help them figure out the best either size or medium that they need for their space and whatever artwork that they're seeking. From there, as you can see down here, we have the buyer's guide. They're able to click on that and add their email address to be able to get the PDF. From there, we're able to constantly send them some marketing emails and so on to always keep them engaged with photoartpavilion.com. So with that said, on the new features here for the art buyer, I'm going to also bring us over to my section. I just want to show you some real great elements for quickly, you know, being able to implement your marketing right through photoartpavilion.com. So here I am, one of my images. I'm able to go right here onto the Facebook icon. I click on that, and then I'm able to, well, it's loading, so just give it a moment. So here I'm able to actually post this image with the link and everything right to my Facebook page. Now, let's say this is my personal Facebook page, but let's say I wanted to share on my actual artist page. So here I'm able to go in and select my artist page. And I'm just going to type in some text, something new in my online. We'll do photo art Pavilion store. Check it out. And then from there, I'm able to go ahead and share that. So now I just quickly added a post to my Facebook page. Now, another way to add more stickiness to your art. So I want to show you our blog posts. So in here, I'm in my account, my Photo Art Pavilion account, just for anyone who's not a Photo Art Pavilion artist. You're able to add a title, upload an image, and then add text. And with your text, you can actually select it and add a link. So, let me just grab this URL for right now. Sorry, I'm trying to manage a couple windows here. Okay, so I'm just going to add a link here. Text display. So you can see, you can always edit the text there's actually going to be a hot link on your blog post. Title. So this is something for like search engines. So shop art by my name. And then target, you can always have a target to a new window or just leave it as is. It's either way works. But at least you're able to implement a shopping link. I'll show you how to have this implement into a real post. I'll show you one of my posts from the past. One of the newest features we have now is that you're able to add tags, like hashtags. So like perhaps hashtag your state. I hope if I can spell and type. All right, state, let's see, subject and so on. So you're able to add these extra little elements for marketing. Now, why do a blog post? So with social media, anything you post on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, any other platform, that's basically has a lifespan of seconds, maybe close to a minute. So a blog post is something that is tangible on a website that is searchable by search engines. Now that adds a lot more life to it. So once you create a blog post on your Photo Art Pavilion storefront, I am going to go to my account quick and I will show you my blog post I recently did. So I actually on the site did a search for my Assateague Island artwork. I go there quite often and I love the wild horses that are there. So let's not create a blog post featuring that art. So what I did, I was able to write up a little commentary about maybe the experiences I've had and so on. And I've added hot links. So Assateague Island National Seashore goes to my artwork. So basically I am taking I'll show you. So if I click on this link, you can see in here, I use my last name, +sign, and the subject matter that I'm searching for, and that gives me this collection here. So now I'm able to implement the blog post. So now anyone who's potentially searching for Assateague Island artwork will be drawn to this blog post. From there, they're able to click and actually start shopping. And any marketing I do, I can link over to this blog post. So it adds a little bit more stickiness to my blog post while also sharing it through my social media connections. And this way you're able to have a little bit more stickiness for different subject matters, locations, experiences you've had, crazy stories you want to share. Perhaps you had an interesting moment when you're out in the field, share it. You never know who it's going to be able to connect with and relate to. And it will add to that little bit more stickiness to your storefront. Now, also what I do, I always sign my blog posts. So why do that? Well, our posts here, our blog, individual storefront blog posts get shared into the general blog post as well for photoartpavilion.com. Now we want to be able to see who it is that's speaking. You want to be able to drive whatever audience comes through on the main blog area to your storefront. So always add your name, add that link to your storefront. As you can see here, this is hot. It goes right over and nope, just kidding. I don't know why that changed. I will correct that. But it is supposed to go over to the artist storefront. As you can see right here, it will technically go here. There you go. So a little correction right there for myself. But as you go along and build out your blog posts, you're able to just add more stickiness to your art and add more eyeballs to your art. And that's what it really is all about. You know, with marketing, it's all about quantity, not quality, not quantity. So with social media, you know, your numbers may not be where you want them to be, but you may have more value in the numbers that you have versus, you know, some empty followers. So always keep that in mind. But that is it for all of the new things that are going on here for Art Buyer and for you art photographers. So we want to be able to open up the chat
Right.
area. Oh,
Let me jump in before we go to the Q&A.
oh, sure.
Yeah, so Jess, if you could go back to the homepage or just
Sure.
set me up as the admin for a second.
Sure, I can
Put
do
myself
that.
back. Here we go. Might have to set myself back.
Uh, hold on.
All right. Well, it's not that important. I guess the point I'm trying to make is we've gone through the process of changing up the homepage and some of the features on the website that are visual to art buyers. We've worked extensively with a search engine optimization company. We've had, I'm going to say 4 months worth of behind the scenes um, coding and search engine setup that's going to be beneficial for all of us, really, to drive people to the site. Now, once they get to the site, when on that bottom part where it has the download now, download your free guide, we've been getting a great response here. And once a potential art buyer jumps into that free download, we send them a PDF. Wasn't anything earth-shattering of information that they're receiving, but they're receiving some information on how to discover their taste as an art collector. But then they also go into an email flow from us. They receive about 5 or 8 different emails over the course of 30, 60, 90 days. And what that does is it keeps us, the website Photo Art Pavilion, engaged with the art buyer, the potential art buyer. And if they do make the purchase, then they go into a separate email flow from us, which is a follow-up of after they make the purchase of the art, then they go into a whole separate flow of trying to expand their purchase opportunities down the road to do more with us. So we're working behind the scenes on the benefit of all artists that are using the site to try and capture as many people that come through the site, bringing them into this art collector sequence, if you will, that allows us to stay in touch with them over the course of time. If the website Photo Art Pavilion is running a giant sale, we can then send a blast email out to all of these people that are potential art buyers or buyers that have already purchased in the past, and bring them back around to do more with us. So that's the beauty of email in one regard. So I just wanted to kind of emphasize that. And I also wanted to emphasize those buttons underneath each image. Each of you artists that have artwork visible on the website can easily go in and share any one of your art pieces with the click of a button. It's really, not that difficult. If you're running out of time, or you have a slow week, or a busy week, and you really can't get to things, just open up an image, click on a button, click, 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 3 to 5 minutes later, you're finished, and, go on with the rest of your day. So emphasizing that promotional effort on your part, we are in Q4. So, you have to dig your heels in a little bit. You've got to try and bring eyeballs back to your artist page. All right. So now I do see some emails coming, some chats coming through. So let's see. Whoop. Where'd we go?
All right. Let's see. Keith, you have here, which one of the email companies that you mentioned have worked best for you? Joanne, since you are the email marketing center.
Yeah, I do. On the business side, on Photo Art Pavilion, we use ActiveCampaign. That does cost us a few bucks each month, but there's a lot of tools that go along with it, like building out those email funnels I talked about. The more features that you add to ActiveCampaign, the higher the monthly fee is for it. But we, as a company, as a corporation, we need those features, so we're invested in that. For me personally, I'm working with MailChimp. I believe it allows me to go up to 150 or 175 contacts for free, quote unquote. Yeah, free. If I want to add additional features to how MailChimp works for me, then I can, there'll be some fees associated with it. One of the hacks I did with MailChimp the other day was I had an email that I wanted to schedule. I created it. I wanted to schedule it to go out on a Friday or a Saturday. And because I'm on the free service, it wouldn't allow me to do the schedule. So what I did was I just put it in my calendar, send email now. So when the calendar popped up to remind me, I opened up my MailChimp and then I sent it. So I kind of subverted making that monthly payment. Oops. But there are ways to get around things. You don't always have to spend money to make money. You just have to be creative. So I would try that. Constant Contact has been around forever. Haven't used it in a long time. We were at Constant Contact when we first started, I believe, Jess, and then we jumped back. We jumped over to ActiveCampaign.
It was Constant Contact, I think MailChimp, and then ActiveCampaign.
Yeah, we
just needed better tools for what we were doing.
Yeah. So that's my my summary there. So Sharon's asking, not sure how to make the hot links.
Okay. Assuming that's on the blog post. So let me share. Oh, I can't share. Do you have to swing it back this way to be able to have me share my screen? And I'll do another walkthrough. Let's see. Jeremy, are you able to make me a host or no?
Oh, I didn't know I unhosted you.
Yeah. No, you asked for you to be a host, right. And we went back and forth. It's all good. All right, here we go. So I'm going to share my screen. Here's my account. You go into blog, new post. From here, in the body of your blog post, I'm just going to type in link or like a shop now text. You're going to select that text that you want to be an active link. You're going to click onto the actual link icon in your tools. You see this? It's a link. Okay. From there, you're going to put in your URL. So copy whatever link it is that you're looking to drive your traffic to. This is just showing you what the text link is going to say. So basically, it's just that highlighted text that you had in your blog post. Title is basically for search engines to see. I usually will put my name in there and whatever subject matter it is that you're talking about. So perhaps here, shop my art prints or shop art prints. Let's just do this better by Jessica Lumpin. I can type today. There we go. So you can do something like that. And then once those fields are selected or filled out, just hit OK. And now, well, I didn't put in a URL. So when you put in a URL, you hit OK, that's going to be an active link. It will stay with your blog post. And that's how you add a link within your blog post. You could set up as many links as you want. The option is there for you. I'm going to stop sharing and then let's see who else.
Sharon, I want to ask Sharon, do you understand how to grab a URL?
Yes. I mean, I pretty much do in like normal life when I'm not like on your marketing site. So I understand the concept of the copying and the pasting and the, setting up like a hyperlink to like a word and stuff. But I was mostly wondering where, Jessica, were you not so much had the hot link, although I just learned how to do that from you, to like your exact art or your page, but also you had a lot of like words in there, like the location with, I think it was the horses or whatever, you know what I mean? Like when you're actually writing the blog in your body of text saying like, oh, I just went to visit, I don't know, this wonderful, Central Park or something. Like how would it be the same? Would you make a hot link to, let's say, the word Central Park to what?
So what you're going to do, like
a website of Central Park, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure. But you
So
understand what I'm asking?
yeah, how do you create
Okay.
extra links within your blog post, and how do you have that
Yes,
targeted search going on? So for me,
correct.
as you can see how I do my searches. So I do my last
Ah,
name and I do the subject, so or location.
okay.
So let's just do lighthouse. So Lempin Lighthouse, and then I hit return, and that will give me a micro gallery, if you will, of
Ah,
whatever it is I'm looking to do. So now this is
got
my
it.
URL I'm going to feature. So I would
Got it.
copy that and put that into my blog post. So let's do it. We're in it. My accounts will go into blog, new post, um, shop lighthouses. And then granted, you could have as much descriptive information you want in here, talking about an experience, your favorite locations, you name it, talk to your buyer. From there, you could grab whatever text you want. You're going to put in your URL, and then again, you fill in your title, shop, whatever, buy, so on. And then you just hit OK. And then now you have an active link. So when you, just to, again, I guess, bring up my blog post to show, you're able to see, I actually had, descriptive text in there. I'm talking about an experience. I'm talking about
Right.
why I like going and so on. And now I'm able to, again, like Assateague Island National Seashore, I did my last name plus Assateague. That brought up all of the images that I was looking to showcase for this blog post. I mean, I could have done horses as a separate link. You could get as crazy and as creative as you want when it comes to your linking.
So
Again,
all of those hot links that say Assateague, probably mispronouncing island, will
yes.
bring you just happen to design this. So if I clicked on any of those three, it'll bring you to that page where
Yep.
it relates to what you're saying. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
And what I
great,
did,
thank you.
just for artwork, I viewed that link that I have, and what my little tip and trick here, I actually minimize my view so it's a little bit smaller. And then from there, I take like a screenshot of that, and I'm able to share.
Okay, great. Now I understand this. That's
Okay.
great. That's a great feature. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's going to be very powerful going forward, because the more we utilize the blog posts, again, I think you didn't really show, but when you post a blog, it goes into your storefront blog feed, but it also goes into the overall blog feed of the entire website. So when you click on that, you see there's posts there's a post from Keith, there's a post from me, there's a post from Jess, there's another one from Jess.
That one was you, one with me.
There should be one for me.
Sharon.
Yep.
Right.
So
quick
Bubish.
question. Can I go back into the blog post, my own blog post, the artist blog post, and edit the text to include one of the hot links, which I haven't done previously?
So so you go into your blog, you're able to view your blog post, you click edit post, and that will bring you right into this area. So as you can see, here's all my text, and I still highlighted it and then added the links behind it. And then tags you're able to add. This is brand new, so I didn't get that far just yet. But you can definitely go back into your blog post, whatever you have already published, and go ahead and add any kind of hashtags that you want to help eyeballs view your blog posts.
Yeah, understand that whenever you update or add a blog post, that it gets curated just like the rest of the site, just for aesthetic purposes and for us to make sure that nothing funky's going out there. We trust all of you implicitly, but at the same time, we do have to kind of just keep an eye on what's going on in that main feed. So if you make an adjustment to a blog post, we will go in and curate it. 99% of the times it's just like, yes, go, go. So that's good. All right. So next question I have here is by Keith. Can you set up a box in the artist storefront so we can collect email addresses from people who visit us? No, that's not anything that we can do. I think the best way to go about that, Keith, is to continue setting up your blogs, writing out your blogs, and try to find a creative way to get people to email you back. On my page, and I think on all of our pages, and if you haven't done this, do it now, but on the top of everybody's artist page, there's a series of buttons, right, of icons. One of those icons is an email button where people can email you directly. So if you just go to your storefront.
Yep. So here's the email icon. If I click on it, it will automatically open up my email software with
Right.
that email address listed. Now I'm going to also take a moment because now I'm just kind of steering a little bit differently. Make sure you enter in the correct URLs for your social media accounts. So you don't know how to test it, go onto your artist storefront page, go ahead and click onto the icons. Make sure that they are working. When entering in this information, you're going to want to put it into your dashboard area, and you're putting in your full URL for that social media account. You want to make sure it is a good connection.
Yep.
That was my 2 cents. Okay.
No, it's important. and because those buttons that when they're in the live store, if a customer comes to your website, your area, you're directing them to your area, they can click on those buttons and jump right over to your Facebook page or your Instagram page. Maybe they weren't engaged with you on Instagram, but they found you via Facebook or through an email campaign. They can see those buttons and those links, and they can now become a new follower for you on those other platforms. So,
or even if they come through the collective art market that we have, right. So the general collection of art, and then they realize that they actually do really, enjoy your art. This is another way to gain more connections.
Yep, all good. All right, Steve Spear. Hi, Steve. Talked about 1 point, Photo Art Pavilion connecting with one another. Where on the website do we do this? We don't have an interactive or a chat area for art photographers on the site to connect with one another, other than the buttons that we've shown you on the site. So if you go to any artist's page, you're going to have the ability to either email them directly, another artist directly, jump over to their social media platforms where they're hanging out, and 99.9% of the time you're going to be able to find a way to interact with them. We don't have a chat room for photographers at this point, or even like a hangout or a group area, but it is something that we could definitely bring forward in the future. Right now, we're just playing catch up with all the features that we've been upgrading since December. All the great ideas that you guys and gals have sent us, we've implemented all of it. The only thing that's remaining that's still not done is the ability for each of you to set up a coupon on your own in your artist area. That is the last bit of to do that the dev team is working on. And speaking of dev team, I know some of you were having issues over the weekend with images uploading, disappearing, and then images coming back. That I think we all just kind of crossed over what the dev team was working on. So they are aware of the glitch. And I think it's just that we were uploading at the same time that they were making major coding changes to the website. So hopefully everything settles down. If you're still having any kind of issues, obviously let us know and we'll rectify that. Steve also asked, do we have that we had a category for travel? I think we're calling that Beyond Our Borders, or I don't know the exact.
Yeah, Beyond the Borders. And honestly, I don't think we need travel, because what if, someone is in California and you say it's travel and it's California art, like it doesn't quite jive.
Yeah.
But thank you for the question.
And one of the things, Steve, to address it directly to you is that when you're uploading imagery and you are choosing your categories to select for the image to appear, we like you to really focus on what is the subject of the image more so than where it was located. So I had a conversation with one of our other photographers who did a ton of shooting all over Europe. The subject is most important, most paramount. And one of the things is I actually have to go in to the website, because I do see things that are not categorized properly. So like if you're taking an image, a photograph of a bird, and you're putting it in Beyond Our Borders because you photographed it in Italy, that's not helping any art buyer find that bird. That needs to go into the right category, go after the subject. Okay, that's going to be how you put your images into the website. So be mindful of that as you're doing it. Getting a category
Americana.
called Americana. I don't know that we would need that. Keith, you want to open up your mic and explain that? I mean, we have urban, we have landscape, waterscape.
Well, for example, if you had a picture of, like I have one in my site, it's a building, there's a sign on it, beer, peanuts, whatever, and it's not a farm, it's sort of, it's Americana as I define it anyway. Even if it's a farm, it could be a landscape, but people are looking. You for example, you had when you had your storefront open, you had an exhibit called Americana, and you and obviously you thought there was a need for a different definition to pull all these other areas together. So I think there's enough photos. It could be industrial. It could be, there's a lot of things that can go into Americana. It's a concept of American tradition. You know, there's some historical in it, but it's not necessarily historical. You know, I don't know what everybody else thinks about that now, but
one of the things we have to be mindful of is that we have artists on the site that are not from America.
Yeah,
we have Canadians, and
I want to say I want a category called Canadiana. Kidding. Kidding.
Yeah, I think what we could drill down. Well, I know we have. Do we have urban? Yeah, we have urban.
But urban, a lot of Americana is not in the cities. In fact, most of it's probably not. What falls under the definition of Americana.
All right, let me think it through.
We can, yeah, we'll hash it out. We'll see what we can get done.
Yeah, abandoned. I know a lot of you guys and gals love to shoot abandoned stuff.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, I when I saw that word Americana, when you put it in the chat, I thought that too, because I love, I don't have a lot of it, but I love photo. Like if you see a kind of like old school, like gas station with the old Texaco thing, and the light is in a certain way, and maybe it's not even, you know, in use anymore. I think maybe, Keith, that's what you're getting at. It's like things that look really iconic from a certain era that give a certain nostalgia, like American nostalgia. Maybe it shouldn't be Americana. Maybe it should be something with the word like nostalgia. Or vintage.
That's
or
more
like
neutral. Yeah.
Or like vintage in it, like vintage landscape or vintage structure. I mean, that's bad, structures and landscapes, but you know what I mean? Like using a word like
nostalgia,
vintage or
vintage. I like too.
That's a good point. She said it the way I should have said it.
Because I mean, I just recently was on vacation where there was a boatload of farmland, and there was one of those kind of a single structure ice cream parlors called, it was called Scoops actually, but it was all like kind of glass and it had like neon, and that, like, I think that's the kind of thing where this is like hometown America, but it had like that vintage,
right? And vintage homey anywhere in the world.
You know,
yeah,
it's like homey and exactly.
I like being a little bit more neutral as far as locations. So nostalgia might be the better options that I'm.
And it could be like almost like vintage landscape, or I don't know what, but I'm just saying that I think there could be, like you said, maybe it's not called Americana, but I understand the genre, Keith, that you're talking about, because I'm drawn to fame. I look at famous photographers who have made a career out of those shots, and I think they're terrific.
Love it. I like it. We will definitely get something moving in that direction, because there is a lot of that. And I do see, I mean, in particular, like I know Jacques LeBlanc, he's not on the chat today, but I know he shoots a lot of that. So does Amy Medina. So yeah, we'll have to revisit that. Well, thank you, Keith.
Sounds good. Yeah.
We went from Americana to Canadiana to vintage.
Teamwork.
Very good. Anybody else have any other questions? I'm opening the floor one more time, and then we'll call this a wrap.
You could unmute too if you wanted to, if it's easier to chat versus type
along the way. Yeah, so
Going once.
today we just launched this new look on the website. Jess and I will be reviewing it, tearing it apart, and making sure it's exactly the way we want it. And yeah, so if there's any other ideas to bring forth for the group, please let us know via email, etc. And if you're still having issues with images either disappearing or reappearing or whatever on the site, just let us know, because we are, like I said, we're working with 2 different dev teams right now, our main dev team and the dev team, that's the SEO dev team. So I'm wondering if some of the coding got crossed over.
Well, that and the other thought is refresh your browser. So some of us
Yeah.
may keep our computers on and things don't get refreshed. So definitely refresh and then see if you're still having whatever issue. And if you are, send us an email.
One last quick question. Did you put the link into the YouTube? I didn't see it unless I'm missing it.
Very top of the chat.
Oh.
I'll grab it again.
Let's see.
And you can also go to youtube.com and just search Photo Art Pavilion and the channel does
Okay.
pop up. You just gotta
That's
like
right
it.
there. Yeah.
Okay,
Excellent.
thank you.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
know, just make sure you subscribe, and that's another task that we have to do. Jess and I need to get in there and start cleaning up some of those videos that we created way long ago.
We're learning a lot as we go along and
Yeah,
sharing
exactly.
it.
So,
Good.
all right. We good?
Excellent. Yes.
All right, everybody.
right.
Have a great
Bye,
week.
Yes,
everyone.
thank you. Have a great
Talk to
week.
you soon. Go get them. Q4.